The phone rang at 2:17 a.m., and in that moment, I knew something had already gone wrong. Hospitals teach you fear in small doses. The beep of machines, the echo of footsteps, the smell of antiseptic that never leaves your nose. I had been there for 32 days, 32 nights of pain, 32 mornings wondering if I would wake up again. They said my heart was weak. I laughed when they said it. I had survived a husband who drank, a son who stopped listening, a life where love was always conditional. But that night, the phone rang again. I reached for it with shaking hands. Hello. My voice cracked. Silence. Then breathing. Slow. Controlled. Nana May, my son said. And he didn't say Mom. I sat up. The four-line tugged at my arm. What's wrong? I whispered. He paused. Too long. There's something we need to talk about when you get home. Home. That word tightened my chest more than the heart monitor ever did. Just tell me, I said. I don't like surprises. Another pause. We'll talk later, he said. Rest. The line went dead. I stared at the phone. Hospitals are loud. But after that call, everything went silent. I pressed the nurse button. Yes, Nana, the nurse smiled. Am I going home soon? She nodded. 2 days. 2 days. I didn't sleep after that. The taxi stopped in front of my house. My house. White gate. Blue door. The jasmine plant I planted the year my husband died. But something was wrong. The gate was open. Wide open. And children's shoes were scattered on the porch. I stepped out slowly. Nana's home, a woman shouted from inside. My stomach dropped. I walked in and froze. My living room. My living room was full of strangers. A man I didn't recognize sat on my sofa. A woman folded laundry on my chair. 2 children ran past me like I was invisible. My daughter-in-law, Rena, turned around. She smiled. A tight smile. Oh, she said. You're early. Early? I looked at her. Then at my son. He wouldn't meet my eyes. What is this? I asked. Rena clapped her hands once. Everyone, this is Nana May. No one moved. No one stood. No one greeted me. I felt small. Why are there people in my house? I asked again. My son cleared his throat. They're staying here for a while. I laughed. It came out sharp. A while. Rena stepped forward. My parents lost their place, she said. We had no choice. No choice. I repeated. This is my home. She tilted her head. Well, it was. The word hit me like a slap. Was. I turned to my son. What did she just say? He finally looked at me, and I saw it. Guilt, fear, and something else. Relief. Mom, he said quietly, we transferred the house. The room tilted. Transferred? I whispered. To Rena's family, he said. I felt my knees weaken. I grabbed the wall. You did what? You were in the hospital, Rena said quickly. Things had to move fast. I stared at her. Without my consent. She shrugged. You weren't available. I laughed again. This time it hurt. I was fighting to live. Silence. Her mother stood up. Well, she said, you're awake now. That's good. I turned. And who are you? She smiled. The new owner. My heart stopped. Literally. I clutched my chest. My son rushed forward. Mom. Don't touch me, I said. My voice shook. You gave away my house. He swallowed. It's complicated. I looked around. My photos were gone. My wedding picture gone. My husband's chair moved. I was a guest. In my own life. I walked toward my bedroom. Rena blocked the door. Oh, she said softly. That room is occupied. By who? My brother, she replied. He works nights. I felt something break inside me. I turned back to my son. Where do I sleep? He hesitated. We set up the couch. The couch. Where strangers now sat. I nodded slowly. I see. I picked up my bag. And that's when I noticed it. The envelope. On the table. With my name on it. I opened it. And my hands began to shake. A legal notice. Stamped. Signed. My name was there. But the signature wasn't mine. I looked up. What is this? Rena smiled. Just paperwork. I whispered, that's forgery. Her smile didn't fade. You'll thank us later. That's when I knew. This wasn't chaos. This was planned. And the worst part? My son helped them. I sat down slowly. The room closed in, and as tears streamed down my face, I realized coming home was the most dangerous thing I could have done. And that was only the beginning. The wedding video started playing, and my hands began to tremble. I didn't even know why they invited me. After everything, after the house, after the silence. But Rena insisted. It will look bad if you don't come, she said. Not feel, not matter. Just look. The hall was full of lights, music, laughter. People clapped as my son and Rena entered. I clapped too, slowly, mechanically, like a woman applauding her own execution. I sat in the back, alone, no family beside me, no seat reserved, just a chair near the exit, in case I needed to disappear quickly. The screen lit up. Let's watch the love story, the announcer said. The crowd cheered. The video played. Photos, smiles, promises. Then, a clip I had never seen. Rena's father speaking. We didn't expect Nana May to survive, he laughed. But God had other plans. The room laughed. I stopped breathing. My son froze. The next clip played. Rena whispering to someone off camera. Once the house is done, she won't matter. Gasps. Someone turned to look at me. My son stood up. Turn it off, he shouted. Too late. The truth had already spilled. I stood. My legs shook. The room was silent now. I walked toward them, step by step. My voice echoed. You planned my erasure. Rena's face went pale. I looked at my son. And you let them. He opened his mouth. No words came out. I smiled. A sad smile. I gave you that house, I said. I gave you my life. I turned to the crowd. And now, I'm taking it back. Rena screamed. You can't. I held up the envelope. You forgot one thing, I said softly. My husband left a secret. The room leaned in, and I smiled through my tears. Something you never knew existed. And as the lights dimmed, I knew the war had just begun. The truth doesn't arrive all at once. It leaks, slowly, like poison through old walls. I didn't leave the wedding hall that night. Not immediately. People whispered. Chairs scraped the floor. Someone dropped a glass. But I stood there, still, breathing through the pain. Because when you've already lost everything, you stop being afraid of losing more. My son finally stepped toward me. Mom, he whispered, his voice shaking. Please, let's talk outside. I looked at him. Really looked. The boy I raised. The boy who cried when his goldfish died. The boy who once said, I'll never hurt you. I nodded. Outside, the night air was cold, sharp, honest. Cars passed. Life continued. I didn't know they would play that video, he said quickly. I didn't answer. I swear, he added. That clip, that wasn't meant. Stop, I said softly. He froze. I don't care about the video, I continued. I care about the truth. He swallowed. Tell me, I said. How long? He looked away. How long what? How long have you been planning to erase me? Silence. Then, since before you got sick. The words hit harder than any slap. I closed my eyes. Say it again. He whispered. Since before you went into the hospital. I laughed. It came out broken. So when I was lying there, I said slowly, unable to move, unable to speak, you were already deciding who would replace me. No, he said quickly. It wasn't like that. Then explain it to me, I said. Explain how my house changed owners while I was unconscious. He rubbed his face. Rena's father is in debt, he said. Bad debt. I said nothing. He owed people dangerous money, my son continued. They were threatening the family. And that makes stealing from me acceptable? I asked. He flinched. They said the house was security, he said. Temporary. Temporary. That word again. And my signature? I asked. He hesitated. Rena handled the paperwork. I stared at him. You let your wife forge my name. His eyes filled with tears. I didn't stop her. That was the confession. Not loud. Not dramatic. Just cowardly. I nodded slowly. Then you are not my son, I said. He grabbed my arm. Don't say that. Let go of me. He didn't. I looked down at his hand. The same hand I once held crossing busy streets. Let go. He released me. I walked away. But I didn't go home, because I no longer had one. I stayed that night with my sister, Lila. She opened the door and gasped. "Oh my God," she said. "You look like a ghost." I stepped inside, collapsed onto her couch, and cried. The kind of crying that empties you. Later, when my breathing slowed, she handed me tea. "Tell me everything," she said. So I did. I told her about the house, the forgery, the wedding video. She listened, quietly, too quietly. When I finished, she said something that changed everything. "There's something you don't know," she said. I looked at her. "What?" She hesitated, then sighed. "I promised myself I'd never tell you," she said. "But after tonight, you deserve the truth." My chest tightened. "Tell me," I whispered. She leaned closer. "The house," she said slowly, "was never fully your son's to take." I frowned. "What do you mean?" She stood up, went to her bedroom, returned with a small metal box. Old, scratched. She placed it on the table. Inside were documents. Yellowed. Official. "Your husband," she said, "didn't trust anyone." I laughed bitterly. "Clearly. He changed the will," she continued. "Quietly. Years ago." My hands began to shake. "He put the house in a trust," she said. "One that activates only if certain conditions are met." "What conditions?" I asked. She met my eyes. "Betrayal." The word hung in the air. "He said if your son ever transferred ownership without your consent," she said, "the house would legally revert." "To who?" I asked. "To you," she said. "And someone else." "Someone else. Who?" I whispered. She swallowed. "A name you haven't heard in years." My heart began to race. "No," I said. "That's not possible." She opened the document, pointed. I read the name, and the room spun. Daniel, my younger son, the one who left, the one who disappeared, the one my family pretended never existed. "I thought he was dead," I whispered. "So did everyone," she said. "But your husband didn't." I pressed my hand to my mouth. Memories flooded back. The fight, the shouting, the night Daniel left with nothing but a backpack. "You never told me," I said. "I was protecting you," she replied. "From what?" She hesitated. "From knowing that your family was already broken." Tears streamed down my face. "So my son," I said slowly, "destroyed himself to save people who never loved him, while the one who loved me most vanished." Lila nodded. "And now," she said, "the trust has been triggered." I laughed, through tears. "Rena doesn't own the house," I said. "No," Lila said. "She never did." I stood up, my legs weak, my heart pounding. "They humiliated me," I said. "They erased me." Lila took my hands. "And now," she said, "you can erase them." I looked at the papers again, at Daniel's name. "He's alive," I whispered. "Yes." "Do you know where?" She nodded slowly. "I know how to find him." "Hope." "Sharp." "Dangerous." I wiped my tears. "Then we find him," I said. Outside, thunder rolled, and somewhere deep inside me, something long buried woke up. Meanwhile, in my house, Rena paced the living room. "This is bad," she hissed. Her mother sat calmly. "She's old," she said. "Who will believe her?" My son sat on the edge of the couch, silent. "She looked at me like I was nothing," he said quietly. Rena turned on him. "You did what you had to do." He shook his head. "No," he said. "I did what was easy." There was a knock at the door. Rena froze. Her father opened it. A man in a suit stood there. "Legal courier," he said. He handed over an envelope. Stamped. Official. Rena tore it open. Her face drained of color. "What?" her mother asked. Rena whispered, "The house is under dispute." My son stood. "What do you mean?" She looked at him. "Your mother's husband left a trust." Silence. "And it names another heir." My son felt his knees buckle. "Who?" he asked. Rena swallowed. "A man named Daniel." The name echoed. My son whispered, "That's impossible." But somewhere far away, I was already on my way. Betrayal doesn't always come screaming. Sometimes, it whispers your name in a familiar voice. I didn't sleep that night. I lay on my sister Lila's couch, staring at the ceiling fan as it turned and turned, like time mocking me. Every creak of the house felt louder than it should. Every shadow looked like someone standing there, watching me, waiting. My heart was still weak. That's what the doctors said. But they didn't know what heartbreak does to a body. At 4:11 a.m., I sat up. I need to see the house, I said. Lila opened one eye. Now. Yes, I said. Before they destroy what's left. She didn't argue. She knew that look in my eyes. The sun was barely up when we reached my street. My street. Cars lined the curb. Strange cars. Loud colors. Windows tinted too dark. I felt sick. Music thumped from inside the house. Bass shaking the walls. They're celebrating, I whispered. Lila parked. I stepped out slowly. Each step hurt. Not my body. My pride. The gate was closed now. Locked. I stared at it. For 32 years, I never locked that gate. Family came and went freely. I knocked. No answer. I knocked again. Harder. Finally, the gate opened. Rena's brother stood there. Shirtless. Smirking. Yes, he said. This is my house, I replied calmly. Move. He laughed. You again. I looked past him. My jasmine plant was gone. Ripped out. My hands clenched. I'm here to collect my things, I said. He leaned against the gate. You should call first. I don't need permission, I said. He stepped closer. You don't live here anymore. Lila stepped beside me. She's the legal owner, Lila said firmly. He scoffed. Talk to the lawyer. That's when my son appeared. From inside. He looked different. Tired. Older. When he saw me, his shoulders dropped. Mom, he said quietly. I stared at him. You locked me out, I said. He swallowed. Rena said. I don't care what she said, I snapped. This is still my home. He stepped aside. Let her in, he told his brother-in-law. The man rolled his eyes but moved. As I walked in, the smell hit me. Alcohol. Perfume. Foreign cooking. The walls were painted. My soft blue gone. Now red. Aggressive. Angry. I walked slowly through the living room. My shelves were empty. My books gone. Where are my things? I asked. Rena appeared from the kitchen. Oh, she said lightly. We donated most of it. The words sliced through me. Donated? You weren't using them, she shrugged. I felt dizzy. My husband's photographs, I said. Where are they? She frowned. Old stuff, she replied. Clutter. Clutter. I turned to my son. You let this happen? He didn't answer. That silence was louder than any scream. The room that broke me. I walked down the hallway. Slowly. Each step felt heavier. I stopped in front of my bedroom door. The door was open. Inside, the bed was gone. Replaced. New sheets. Different smell. My dresser missing. My mirror gone. I stood there. Frozen. Rena leaned against the doorframe. We needed the space, she said. I turned to her. You erased me, I whispered. She smiled. You're being dramatic. Something snapped inside me. I stepped closer. You slept in my bed, I said. Didn't you? She hesitated, then lifted her chin. Yes, she said, and it's very comfortable. I slapped her. The sound echoed through the house. My son gasped. Rena stumbled back. Her hand flew to her cheek. How dare you, she screamed. I was shaking. How dare you, I said quietly. Wear my life like a costume. She lunged forward. My son stepped between us. Enough, he shouted. He turned to me. You can't just hit her. I laughed. A bitter sound. You let her steal my house, I said. But this is where you draw the line. He looked down. I'm trying to keep peace, he said. Peace, I repeated. This is war. Rena's mother appeared. What's all this noise, she asked. Then she saw Rena's face. Her expression hardened. She attacked my daughter, she said. I looked at her. And you attacked my life, I replied. She stepped closer. You're old, she said coldly. You should be grateful we didn't put you in a home. The word echoed. Home. I laughed softly. My husband warned me about you, I said. She stiffened. What do you mean? He said. I continued. One day they'll show their teeth. My son looked up. What did Dad say? He asked. I ignored him. I reached into my bag, pulled out the documents. This house is under legal dispute, I said calmly. You are all trespassing. Rena snatched the papers. Her eyes scanned the page. Her face drained. This isn't real, she said. Oh, it's very real, Lila replied. Rena turned to my son. You knew about this? He shook his head. No. I looked at him. And that, I said softly, is the problem. That afternoon, my son asked to speak privately. We sat on the porch, the same porch where he once did homework while I cooked dinner. Mom, he said, I need you to understand something. I waited. Rena is pregnant. The words dropped like stones. I blinked. Pregnant. Yes, he said. 3 months. I felt numb. And you didn't tell me, I said. We didn't want stress, he replied. I laughed. Too late. He leaned forward. That's why this house matters, he said. We need stability. By stealing from me? I asked. He looked away. I was going to fix it later, he said. Later. Always later. I need you to sign something, he added quietly. My stomach dropped. What? A settlement, he said. Just temporary. I stared at him. You want me to give up my claim? Just until things calm down, he said. For the baby. I stood. Slowly. Carefully. So now you're using a child to silence me, I said. That's not fair, he said quickly. No, I replied. What's not fair is asking your mother to disappear so your life can look neat. He reached for my hand. Please, he whispered. I pulled away. I didn't raise you to beg, I said. I raised you to stand. His eyes filled with tears. I'm scared, he admitted. So am I said. But only one of us is doing the wrong thing. He looked up. What will you do? I turned back toward the house. I will take back what is mine, I said. And I will tell the truth. His voice broke. You'll destroy us. I looked at him. No, I said. You destroyed us. I'm just refusing to stay buried. That night my phone rang. Unknown number. I answered. Hello. A man's voice replied. Low. Careful. Nana May, he said. You don't know me. My heart raced. But I know you, he continued. Who is this? I asked. I work for your husband, he said. My breath caught. My husband is dead, I whispered. He prepared for that, the man replied. And he prepared for this. Silence filled the room. There's something you need to know about your younger son, he said. My hands trembled. Daniel, I whispered. Yes, he said. He didn't leave because he wanted to. The world tilted. What do you mean? He was forced, the man said. And the people who forced him are closer than you think. My chest tightened. Who are you? I asked again. I'm the man your husband trusted, he replied. And I've been waiting years to make this call. I swallowed. Where's my son? The man paused. Before I answer that, he said, you need to know who betrayed him first. My voice cracked. Tell me. He took a breath. Your eldest son, he said quietly, signed him away. The phone slipped from my hand. I fell to my knees. And in that moment, I understood. This wasn't just about a house. This was about a lifetime of lies. And the deepest betrayal hadn't even been revealed yet. Some confrontations don't explode. They suffocate. The phone lay on the floor beside me, still glowing, still warm from the voice that had just shattered my life. Your eldest son signed him away. I stayed there for a long time, on my knees, hands pressed to the floor, breathing like I was drowning in air. Lila rushed in. What happened? She asked. I looked up at her, and for the first time since my husband died, I screamed. Not loud, not dramatic, just one broken sound pulled from somewhere deep inside my chest. My sons, I whispered. They destroyed each other, and I helped. She knelt beside me. No, she said firmly. You didn't. But I already knew. Mothers always know too late. By morning, my voice was gone. But my resolve was not. I'm going to see him, I said. Lila stiffened. Who? My son, I replied. The one who stayed. She hesitated. He's dangerous right now, she warned. Cornered people always are. I raised him, I said. If he's become a monster, I need to look him in the eyes. The house was quiet when I arrived. Too quiet. No music. No laughter. Just tension hanging in the air like smoke. I walked in without knocking. Rena sat at the dining table, crying. Real tears this time. My son stood by the window. When he turned and saw me, his face drained of color. Mom, he said. I was just coming to see you. I nodded. Good, I said. Sit down. He obeyed, like a child again. I placed my bag on the table. Slowly, deliberately. I got a call last night, I said. Rena looked up sharply. What kind of call? A call about Daniel, I replied. The room froze. My son's jaw tightened. Why are you bringing him up? He asked. Because, I said quietly. He didn't leave. Silence. He was forced, I continued. And you signed the papers. Rena gasped. That's not true, she said quickly. He's lying to you. I ignored her. I looked only at my son. Did you do it? I asked. He didn't answer. I leaned forward. Did you sell your brother's future? I asked again. His hand shook. Mom. Answer me. He slammed his fist on the table. Yes, he shouted. I did. Rena jumped. Lila, who had followed me inside, whispered, Oh God. I felt my heart tear. Why? I asked. He stood, pacing. I was young, he said. Dad was sick. Daniel was reckless, always getting into trouble. So you punished him? I asked. I protected this family, he snapped. By destroying it? He turned to me. You don't understand, he said. They came to me. Who? I demanded. Men, he said. Powerful men. Rena screamed, Stop talking. He ignored her. They said Daniel owed them, he continued. Money. Favors. I felt sick. They offered a solution, he said. A contract. Work overseas. No contact. You sold him, I whispered. I saved him, he yelled. They would have killed him. And you never told me? I cried. He looked away. I couldn't. I stood. My legs shook. You looked me in the eye, I said, and told me he abandoned us. His voice broke. I thought it was better than the truth. I slapped him. Hard. The sound cracked through the room. Rena screamed. How dare you, she shouted. I turned on her. You knew, I said. She froze. You knew, I repeated. Didn't you? She swallowed. I found out later, she whispered. And you stayed, I said. She said nothing. I laughed. A hollow sound. 3 generations of cowards, I said softly. My son sank into a chair, covering his face. I tried to find him, he said. Years later. I swear. When? I asked. After Dad died, he said. But he was gone. I reached into my bag, pulled out the trust documents. You failed, I said. Again. He looked up. What is that? Your father's revenge, I replied. His eyes widened as he read. No, he whispered. He wouldn't. He did, I said. Because he knew. Rena stood abruptly. This is insane, she said. We're done listening to this. She grabbed her coat. I'm calling my lawyer. Good, I said. So am I. She stormed out. The door slammed. Silence fell. My son looked at me. I was going to fix it, he whispered. I shook my head. You had decades, I said. You chose comfort over truth. He began to cry. I was afraid, he admitted. I leaned down. So was Daniel, I said. And he was alone. He sobbed. I didn't mean to hurt you, he said. I straightened. But you did, I said. And now you will live with it. The knock came suddenly. Sharp. Urgent. Lila moved toward the door. A man stood outside. Tall. Gray hair. Hard eyes. I'm looking for Nana May, he said. I stepped forward. That's me. He nodded. My name is Victor, he said. I worked with your husband. My son stood. Who is he? He demanded. Victor ignored him. Your younger son is alive, Victor said calmly. I closed my eyes. Alive. He's not free, Victor continued. But he's close. My heart pounded. Where? I whispered. Victor glanced at my son. Before I answer, he said, we need to discuss consequences. My son stepped forward. You have no right. Victor turned. You gave up your right years ago, he said coldly. My son froze. Victor looked back at me. There's one condition, he said. To bring Daniel home. I nodded. Anything. He met my eyes. You must testify, he said. Against your eldest son. The words crushed me. I staggered back. My son shouted, no. Victor didn't blink. The truth must be spoken, he said. Publicly. I looked at my son. The boy I raised. The man who betrayed his brother. Tears streamed down my face. If I do this, I whispered, I lose you. Victor nodded. And if you don't, he said, you lose Daniel forever. The room felt too small. Too heavy. My son fell to his knees. Mom, he begged. Please. I stepped back. My heart screamed. but my voice was steady. I will not bury another child, I said. He sobbed. Victor extended his hand. Then we begin, he said. I took it. And in that moment, I chose truth over blood. Some truths don't come softly. They crash into your life like a landslide. And when they do, you realize the ground beneath you has been shaking all along. The next morning, Victor returned with a folder. Thick, official, heavy with secrets I was not sure I wanted to know. You need to see this, he said. His gray eyes were sharp, unblinking. It's everything your husband left behind about Daniel, about the house, about your eldest son. I took the folder in trembling hands. It weighed like guilt, like years of broken trust. I had survived hospitals, pain, betrayal, but this could undo me. Where is Daniel? I whispered. Victor's expression hardened. He's alive, but he's not safe. Not yet. He's in a place he never wanted to be, and he's been hidden for his protection. But time is running out. I clutched the folder to my chest. My breath came in shallow bursts. Why was he hidden? Why didn't my husband tell me? Victor's jaw tightened. Your husband trusted very few people. He knew what was coming. He knew that some in your family, your eldest son included, would never protect him. So he created contingencies, plans to safeguard Daniel, to protect this house, and to ensure that if betrayal happened, justice could still be served. I sank onto the couch. My hand shook violently as I opened the folder. Papers, photos, notes, all in my husband's neat handwriting. There were letters between my husband and lawyers, bank statements, deeds, trust agreements, and then the one I had feared most, a list of conditions. My eyes widened as I read aloud. Condition 1. If the eldest son ever transfers property without consent, control of the house reverts to the mother, Nana May, and Daniel upon his return. Condition 2. Any attempt to conceal Daniel's location will nullify any inheritance claims. Condition 3. Any party found complicit in deception will face legal action immediately. I froze. Daniel, I whispered. He was never just missing. He was hidden deliberately. My own son's actions, he signed papers, transferred ownership, colluded with Rena. He triggered these contingencies. Victor nodded gravely. Yes, that is why you must testify. It's the only way to enforce your husband's will and protect Daniel. I pressed my palms against my face. Tears streamed down uncontrollably. My own son betrayed me, I whispered. And my other son, he's been paying the price all these years. Victor leaned forward. Daniel was forced. He wasn't running away. He was coerced. Your husband knew, and he acted to protect him. But he also left you tools to fight back. I exhaled sharply, my body shaking. All this time, all these years of believing Daniel abandoned us, and it was my eldest son's decisions that made him vanish. Victor's voice softened. And it's not just him. Rena's family, your house, the forgery, the occupation, it was all orchestrated to pressure your son, to prevent anyone from claiming Daniel or the house. Your husband anticipated it. That's why he built the trust. He knew betrayal would come. I looked down at the documents. Photos of Daniel as a boy, young, laughing, full of life, stared back at me. My throat constricted. I failed him, I whispered. Victor shook his head. You didn't fail. You were never aware. The system was designed to hide the truth until you were ready. I closed the folder, trying to steady myself. Ready? I don't know if I'll ever be ready. My eldest son, the betrayal, the lies. How do I even look at him again? Victor placed a firm hand on my shoulder. That confrontation will come. But first, you need to find Daniel. He's been in a safe house, hidden by people your husband trusted. Lawyers, friends. He's alone, yes, but strong. And he's waiting for you. I swallowed hard. How do we find him? Victor opened a smaller envelope from the folder. Inside, a handwritten note from my husband. When the time comes, Nana May must follow the clues. The house is more than walls and furniture. Its secrets are the keys to finding Daniel. Trust only the loyal. Beware the greedy. I looked up at Victor, panic rising. The house? You mean there's more in the house? Yes, he said. More than you know. Your husband hid documents, keys, evidence. all linked to Daniel's location. But Rena's family has been searching too. They want control of the house because it holds everything they need to block Daniel from returning. My pulse quickened. Then we have to get inside. Now. Victor's eyes hardened. Not now. They're alert. You need a plan. And your eldest son, he will be part of this plan, whether you like it or not. I felt my chest tighten. I don't know if I can trust him. You will, Victor said. You don't have a choice. He is the key to Daniel. We returned to the house at dusk. I didn't knock. I stood at the gate, feeling smaller than I ever had in my life. Rena's car was parked in the driveway. I could hear laughter inside. Victor gestured for me to stay back. He approached the door and knocked lightly. The door opened. Rena's mother looked surprised. Victor? What are you doing here? He stepped inside confidently. I'm here to deliver documents. Legal matters. Rena appeared behind her mother. She glared at me from inside. I wanted to step forward, to yell, to throw the documents at her face. But Victor held me back. Patience, he whispered. You need the upper hand. I watched as they sat. They argued softly. Legal jargon filled the room. I stayed hidden behind the gate, observing. Then my eldest son arrived. He looked at me from across the street. I could see fear in his eyes, but also guilt. I stepped forward. You betrayed him. You betrayed all of us. He flinched. Mom, it's not that simple. I pointed to the house. It's simple. You signed your brother away. You let strangers take our home. You hurt Daniel. And now we're going to fix it. He swallowed. Fix it how? I took a deep breath. By telling the truth. By helping us find Daniel. He hesitated. The memory of years passed flashing across his face. I can't, he whispered. You can, I said firmly. And you will. Or you'll live knowing you could have saved him and chose not to. Tears welled up in his eyes. I didn't know where to start. I didn't know if I could face him. You face him now, I said. Or you lose him forever. Victor handed me a key. Small. Old. Copper. Your husband left it, he said. It unlocks a secret compartment in the study. Daniel's location is in there. But only one person can access it. Someone he trusts. You. I felt my hands tremble. I walked to the house, my eldest son trailing silently. We entered. The living room was a shrine to Rena's family now. The walls red, furniture new. I ignored it all, moving straight to the study. Victor watched from the doorway. Be careful, he warned. I knelt before the desk. It was the same desk where my husband used to write letters, pay bills, plan his life. I slid the key into a hidden lock. A compartment opened. Inside letters, photos, a small USB drive. My heart pounded. I picked up the first letter. It was from Daniel, written when he was 16. Mom, if you ever read this, I'm safe. I promise. But they will try to erase me. Keep Nana May strong. Trust the house. Trust no one blindly. And no, I love you. I gasped. Victor placed his hand on my shoulder. This is it. The first real clue. I looked up at my eldest son. Do you understand now? I asked. He nodded, silently crying. I understand. I turned back to the letters. USB drives, maps, keys, all of them pointing to one thing, Daniel. And as I held them in my hands, I realized the war was only beginning. Rena's family had underestimated me. They thought a sick, betrayed mother would bow. They had no idea. I was just getting started. Emotions are dangerous weapons. They cut deeper than steel. And tonight they were all aimed at me. I didn't sleep. I couldn't. My hands still trembled from opening that hidden compartment. Letters, photos, maps, keys, USB drives. Daniel was alive. Alive. The word repeated in my head like a drumbeat. But knowing he was out there didn't bring relief. It brought chaos, because to get to him, I needed my eldest son. The one who had betrayed his brother. The one whose guilt weighed heavier than any prison. And worse, Rena's family was still inside my house. Victor and I approached the gate as dusk fell. The street was quiet. Too quiet. This is going to get messy, Victor whispered. Are you ready for what comes next? I swallowed hard. I don't have a choice. The gate creaked as I pushed it open. Inside, the house was eerily silent. No laughter, no music, just shadows stretching along red walls that had once been my sanctuary. I saw Rena's mother in the living room, sitting stiffly on the sofa. Rena stood nearby, scrolling her phone, her face pale. "You're back," Rena said softly, but the tone carried ice. "Yes," I replied, my voice low, calm, controlled. "I'm back to claim what's mine." She laughed, sharp and brittle. "Claim? This house isn't yours anymore. You've been gone a month. We've lived here, thrived here." I stepped closer. "Thrived? You destroyed it. You erased my life. You mocked me while I was in a hospital bed. And now you expect what?" Rena's mother rose, her hands trembling. "Be careful, Nana May. You don't know what you're stirring." I met her gaze. "I know exactly what I'm stirring. And it starts with the truth." At that moment, my eldest son appeared. Silent, stoic, but I could see the storm in his eyes. "You need to tell me everything," I said to him, my voice cutting through the tension. "About Daniel, the house, everything you've hidden." He looked away, swallowed hard, and finally spoke. "Mom, don't start with excuses," I interrupted. "You betrayed your brother. You betrayed me. You left Daniel in hiding. You signed away his life. Tell me why." He rubbed his face. I didn't know how to stop them. Rena's family, they threatened me. They said they would ruin us. I thought I was protecting everyone." "Protecting?" I asked, my voice trembling with anger. "By destroying him? By erasing me? Do you understand what that means?" Tears streamed down my face. "I raised you. I gave everything for you. And you." He flinched. I know, Mom. I'm sorry. I was scared. I didn't want to lose everything. I thought if I obeyed, Daniel would be safe." I shook my head, my anger boiling. "Safe? By hiding him? By letting strangers occupy my home? By lying to your mother?" Victor stepped forward. "Enough. The truth needs to come out calmly. Emotions are dangerous now. We need a plan." I turned to him. "Calm? How can I be calm when my family has betrayed me at every turn?" Victor's jaw tightened. "Because chaos will destroy your chance at finding Daniel. You need control. The discovery of Rena's plan." I moved toward the study, the letters and USB drives in my bag. The compartment's secret key burned in my pocket. "Where are you going?" Rena demanded. "To find my son," I said. "To fix what you tried to destroy." She stepped in front of me. "You think you can undo this? You have no idea what's at stake." I narrowed my eyes. "I think I know exactly what's at stake. Daniel's life, my family, and my house. All of it. And I'm not leaving until I get answers." Her face twisted. "You're going to regret this." I didn't respond. Instead, I reached for the desk, opened the hidden compartment. Inside, the letters, the USB drive, the maps, everything my husband left for me to find Daniel. Rena gasped. "Where did you get that?" "My husband left it," I said. "And you couldn't stop me from finding it." She backed away, fear creeping into her eyes. You don't understand what will happen if you follow this." I looked at her. "Oh, I understand. That's why I'm doing it anyway." Suddenly, my eldest son stepped forward. "Mom, wait. Let me help." I turned to him, disbelief in my eyes. "You, after everything? You expect me to trust you?" His voice was raw. "I have to. I can't undo the past, but I can make sure Daniel comes home safely. Please let me do this." I studied him. The boy who had once been scared of everything. The man who had betrayed his brother. The son I thought I had lost. He looked desperate, broken, and sincere. "Fine," I said slowly. "But one mistake, one lie, and you're done. Understood?" He nodded. "Understood." Victor stepped closer. "We need a strategy. Rena's family has eyes everywhere. They know you're looking. If they suspect we're close to finding Daniel, they'll try to block us." I clenched the folder. "Then we move fast. No mistakes." My eldest son swallowed. "I can access records they don't know about. Contacts my father left. Safe houses. I can get us close." I stared at him. "And you won't lie." "I won't," he said, voice shaking. "I can't live with another lie. Not to you. Not to Daniel." I nodded slowly. Good. Then we begin. Suddenly, the front door slammed open. Rena's mother stormed in, furious. You can't do this, she screamed. You don't know what you're messing with. I turned slowly. I know exactly what I'm doing. And if you try to stop me, you will regret it. Her face twisted in anger. You're a sick old woman. You can't take what's ours. I stepped closer. What's yours? A stolen life? Lies? Forged papers? No. Everything you think you own is mine. She lunged at me, screaming. I pushed her back. Not hard, but enough. My eldest son stepped in, holding her back. Calm down. She spat at me. You're insane. I am insane, I said softly. Insane enough to save my child. Her eyes widened. Fear flickered. Then she hissed, You'll pay for this. Victor stepped forward. You've already lost control. Step aside. This is over. She glared but backed down. For now. The clue to Daniel. I opened the USB drive. Files. Encrypted. But familiar patterns. Maps. GPS coordinates. Notes from my husband. Victor leaned over my shoulder. This is it. This will lead us to Daniel. I swallowed hard. Are you sure? Victor nodded. Your husband's handwriting doesn't lie. These are exact instructions. Safe houses, contacts, a hidden location he trusted. My eldest son's face went pale. I know this place. I visited once. Years ago. It's secure. Hidden. No one will find him there if we follow the instructions. I felt my heart tighten. Hope. Fear. Rage. All tangled together. Suddenly, Victor held up a document from the folder. My eyes widened. This can't be, I whispered. Victor's eyes were steady. It is. Your husband left evidence that your eldest son knew more than he admitted. He knew about the coercion. He knew Daniel was in danger. And yet he did nothing. My eldest son dropped his head. I thought I could protect him by staying silent. I thought if I followed orders, nothing worse would happen. I took a deep breath. You did worse. You abandoned him. You abandoned all of us. Tears ran down his face. I know. And I will do everything to make it right. Please, just help me help Daniel. I studied him. Pain, rage, and desperation swirling inside me. Finally, I nodded. Fine. But remember, every step you take from here on, I'm watching. And if you betray him again, I will never forgive you. Victor mapped out our next steps. We travel tonight, he said. We follow the coordinates. We retrieve Daniel. And we expose Rena's family for what they've done. I felt a flicker of determination. No more hesitation. No more lies. This ends tonight. My eldest son nodded. I'll be honest. Every step. No secrets. I looked at him. Then let's save our family. Outside, the wind howled. The house loomed red and angry behind us, a reminder of everything stolen. But we were ready. And somewhere deep inside, I felt the first spark of hope I had felt in years. Confession is a dangerous thing. It exposes more than just lies. It exposes hearts. The night was thick and silent, as if the world itself was holding its breath. Every step I took toward Daniel's location felt like walking through fire. My eldest son walked beside me, pale and tense, the weight of years of betrayal heavy on his shoulders. Victor guided us from behind, calm, calculating, the map in his hand glowing softly in the moonlight. We approached the safe house, a small, abandoned warehouse on the outskirts of the city. The place smelled of dust and damp, a forgotten corner the world had almost missed. But I could feel Daniel's presence. I could almost hear his heartbeat echoing in the empty space. Victor raised a hand. Wait, he whispered. They're watching. I froze. The air felt suddenly thick. Shadows moved behind broken windows. Figures lurking, waiting for us. Rena's family, Victor muttered. They never stopped. They've been tracking us since you left the house. I felt my heart clench. Rage. Fear. Determination. All at once. My eldest son swallowed. Mom, I can handle them, he said quietly. But I saw the tremor in his hands. No, I said, my voice cold. This is my fight too. Victor motioned toward the side entrance. We go quietly. One wrong move, and Daniel could be gone before we even reach him. We crept toward the warehouse. Every step was deliberate, every sound magnified. Inside, the air was stale. Shadows danced against the walls. Boxes stacked like towers of forgotten secrets. And then we saw him. Daniel. Not the child in the photographs, but a young man now. Scarred by absence, eyes sharp, wary. He was seated on a wooden chair, hands tied loosely with rope, but otherwise unharmed. His head lifted slowly. Mom. His voice was a whisper, trembling with disbelief. I stopped in my tracks. My heart exploded. Tears blurred my vision. Daniel, it's me, it's Mom. He froze, eyes wide. Mom? No, this can't be real. I took a step forward. It's real, baby. It's all real. You're safe now. We're here. He shook his head. I thought I was alone. Everyone abandoned me. I dropped to my knees before him. No, Daniel. I never abandoned you. Your father. He planned all of this to protect you. I only found out recently. But we're here now. You're coming home. His body shook. He buried his face in my chest. I could feel him trembling. I held him, rocking gently. Years of pain, fear, and loneliness pouring out into the night. Suddenly, a shout came from the shadows. Stop right there. Rena and her family appeared, their faces twisted with anger. You thought you could take him? Rena screamed. This is our advantage. This is ours. Her mother's voice followed. Give him to us. He belongs with the family who raised him. I stood slowly, holding Daniel close. He belongs to no one but himself. And I belong with my child. The eldest son stepped forward. Back off. You don't control this anymore. Rena laughed, bitter and venomous. Control? You lost it the moment you left us. You have no power here. Victor stepped into the center, authoritative. This ends now. Either you leave peacefully, or the authorities get involved. Your choice. Rena's mother hissed. Authorities won't help. We have lawyers, connections. I don't care, I interrupted. Your threats mean nothing. I'm done being afraid. The tension in the air was electric. Every second felt stretched. Every heartbeat loud. My eldest son moved closer to Daniel. I have to tell you the truth, he said, voice shaky. I signed those papers. I let them take you. I betrayed you. I thought I was protecting the family, but I only hurt you. I'm so sorry, Daniel. I'm sorry, Mom. Daniel froze, staring at him. His eyes burned with a mix of fear, disbelief, and anger. You were supposed to protect me. You signed my life away. You. I put a hand on Daniel's shoulder. Daniel, hear him out. He's telling the truth now. That's all we can ask. He shook his head violently. I don't know if I can forgive him. I don't expect you to, I said softly. But we can start by taking back control of our lives. Together. Victor stepped forward, holding a stack of papers. These are documents your father left. Everything that proves who owns the house, and all evidence against Rena's family. You can take control legally, but you need to act now. Daniel's eyes widened. All this, it was my father? I nodded. Yes, and he planned for this moment. He knew we would face betrayal. He knew the people around us would try to tear us apart. But he also trusted me to bring you home. Daniel's voice trembled. I can't believe this. I thought I was abandoned, but you never gave up. I hugged him tighter. Never, baby. Never. Rena screamed again, desperation breaking her composed mask. You can't do this. You can't take him. He's ours. He's part of this family. I stood tall. He's part of nothing but himself. And no one will ever control his life again. Not you. Not your mother. Not my eldest son if he betrays again. Only Daniel chooses his own path now. Victor stepped forward, calm but commanding. Leave now. You've been warned. This is your only chance. Rena's mother spat at my feet. This isn't over. You'll regret this. I laughed softly, the kind of laugh that comes from absolute exhaustion and rage combined. I've already survived your games. You're too late. Daniel is coming home. They hesitated, then stormed out. Threats still hanging in the night, but powerless now. Daniel turned to me, tears streaming. Mom, I can't believe this. I'm here. I'm safe. Yes, baby, I whispered. You're safe. You're home. And I'm never letting anyone take you away again. My eldest son stood behind us, guilt written across his face. I'll do whatever it takes to make this right. I, I promise. Daniel glared at him but didn't respond. Instead, he hugged me tightly, finally feeling the warmth of a mother's protection after years of fear and uncertainty. Victor watched quietly. This is only the beginning, he said. But you've made the first, most important step. Daniel is back. That's what matters. I held Daniel close, feeling his heartbeat against mine. I could feel the years of pain slowly slipping away. But I knew the conflict wasn't over. Rena's family would return. Legal battles awaited. Emotional scars still needed healing. And the betrayal of my eldest son would take years to mend. But for now, Daniel was home. And that, for the first time in years, felt like victory. Resolution is never simple, especially when betrayal runs deep and greed has been waiting in the shadows for decades. The morning was gray, heavy with clouds that mirrored my mood. Daniel was home, safe for the first time in years, but the storm outside was nothing compared to the storm waiting for us in court. Victor had coordinated everything meticulously. Every document, every letter, every map from my husband's secret archive had been reviewed. But the tension in the house was palpable. My eldest son hovered near the doorway, wringing his hands. Daniel sat silently at the kitchen table, staring at the floor, still unsure if this was reality or another trick of fate. Rena and her family, of course, had not vanished entirely. They had lawyers, friends, and connections that could manipulate any part of the system if left unchecked. And worst of all, they still had audacity. Victor pulled me aside. Nana May, you need to be ready. They will attack you, your son, even Daniel if they can. Stay calm. Speak the truth, clearly, without hesitation. Your husband left everything you need to win. But you must not falter. I nodded, gripping the folder in my hands. I've faced betrayal, loss, and betrayal again. I can face this too. But, Daniel, my voice caught. He's never known stability. I can't let him see failure now. Victor placed a reassuring hand on my shoulder. You won't fail. You're his mother. You've already proven that. My eldest son stepped closer. Mom, I'll testify too. About everything. About me. About Daniel, about Rena's family. I studied him. Could I trust him fully now? I wasn't sure. But I knew one thing. Daniel needed his family intact, even if fragile. Fine, I said. But any lie and you're done. He nodded solemnly. I understand. The courthouse smelled of polished wood, leather, and stale coffee. The walls seemed to absorb tension and radiate it back. Rena and her mother were already there, seated with their lawyers. Their smug expressions cut through me like knives. When my name was called, I stepped forward, holding Daniel's hand lightly. The media cameras flashed. Whispers filled the air. The room felt suffocating, yet I stood tall. Victor leaned in and whispered, stick to the facts. Speak slowly. Let the truth do the work. I nodded. The eldest son followed me, his face pale, his hands trembling slightly. Daniel remained calm, eyes wide with both fear and hope. Rena's lawyer, a sharp-eyed woman in her 40s, began the attack immediately. Your Honor, she said smoothly, the plaintiff, Nana May, is attempting to reclaim a property that was lawfully transferred. She was absent for weeks. The property has been maintained and improved by the defendant's family. How can she claim ownership now? I took a deep breath. Your Honor, I began, voice steady despite the pounding of my heart. This house was never lawfully transferred. My husband's documents prove ownership remains in my name and Daniel's. Furthermore, my absence was due to a medical emergency, not abandonment. The lawyer scoffed. Documents can be forged. Witnesses. I nodded toward Victor, who presented the compiled evidence. Letters, bank statements, maps, and the USB drive. The room went silent. Every eye was on the table. Victor spoke clearly. Your Honor, these documents were meticulously recorded by the late Mr. Sharma. They outline property ownership, the conditions of Daniel's trust, and the illegality of the transfers made by Rena's family. This evidence is irrefutable. Rena's mother whispered something sharply. Rena hissed under her breath, clearly rattled. Then it was my eldest son's turn. He stood, voice shaking but firm. I signed documents I should never have signed, he admitted. I colluded with people I shouldn't have. I betrayed my brother, my mother, my family. I did it out of fear. Fear for my life. Fear for what Rena's family could do. But I was wrong. I lied to everyone for years. I've tried to fix it, but I couldn't alone. I'm here today to tell the truth. The courtroom was silent. Even the judge leaned forward, eyes sharp. Rena's face paled. You, how dare you? I raised a hand. Enough. Let the truth speak. Daniel, seated beside me, finally spoke. His voice, calm but trembling, echoed. I was never abandoned, he said. I was hidden, protected, but I was kept from my family because of lies, greed, and betrayal. Today, I reclaim my life. I reclaim my home. And I refuse to let anyone control me again. Gasps filled the room. The air was electric. Rena's mother whispered furiously. The lawyers scrambled. The testimony revealed more than property disputes. Secrets spilled. Confessions from my eldest son, Daniel's ordeal, and Rena's family's manipulations were all laid bare. I felt my body shake. The emotional toll was overwhelming. Years of anger, pain, and fear combined into a storm inside me. I whispered to Daniel, stay strong. Breathe. You're safe now. He nodded, tears glistening. I don't know if I can believe that yet. I hugged him lightly. You can, and you will. Rena's mother suddenly slammed her hand on the table. You can't win. You'll regret this. I met her gaze. Calm, cold. I've survived betrayal, threats, and lies. You are too late. The eldest son swallowed. I take responsibility for my actions. I will face any consequences, and I will do everything to protect Daniel. Just as we thought we had the upper hand, Rena dropped the bomb. Your Honor, she cried, voice shaking with rage and fear. These documents, they are fraudulent. My family, Victor cut in sharply. Objection. Evidence has been verified. Forensics, handwriting analysis, timestamps. Everything authentic. You will not derail this case with lies. But then my eldest son froze. His phone buzzed. He looked down, color draining from his face. What is it? I whispered. He handed me the phone. A message from a lawyer representing Rena's family. We know where Daniel is. If Nana May testifies fully, he will be moved immediately. Don't make a move unless you want him gone forever. My blood ran cold. Victor's eyes narrowed. They're trying to manipulate the situation. Daniel could be relocated at any moment. We must act now. I looked at Daniel. His eyes widened. Panic flickered across his face. I grabbed his hand. Don't worry. I've got you. We'll protect you. Victor nodded. This is the critical moment. Once you testify fully, Daniel must be secured immediately. No mistakes. The courtroom had turned into a war zone of emotions. Confessions, confrontations, threats, all colliding at once. I felt the weight of every betrayal, every lie, every stolen year. But I also felt the first sparks of hope. Daniel was here. My eldest son was finally honest. The documents were undeniable. Yet the message on the phone was a ticking bomb. One wrong move, and Daniel could disappear again. And as I stood there ready to deliver the testimony that would change everything, I realized the hardest battle was yet to come. Because even with the truth on our side, Rena's family had one final card to play. A card that could shatter us all. Some endings don't feel like endings. They feel like explosions, shattering everything you thought you knew. The courtroom was tense, thick with anticipation. Every eye was on me, on Daniel, on my eldest son, and on Rena's family. The air was electric. The media cameras captured every twitch, every breath, every heartbeat. Victor leaned close, whispering, "This is the moment. Speak slowly. Speak clearly. Every word counts." I nodded, gripping Daniel's hand tightly. His skin was warm under mine, a reminder that he was finally here, alive, after years of absence. But the message on my eldest son's phone still lingered like a dark shadow. We know where Daniel is. Don't make a move unless you want him gone forever. Your Honor, I began, voice strong despite the storm raging inside me. My husband, the late Mr. Sharma, left documents outlining the legal ownership of this house and the provisions for his son, Daniel. The property was never lawfully transferred to Rena's family. Their occupation and control are the result of coercion, manipulation, and deception. I present evidence of this, documents, letters, and other records, to prove ownership remains with me and Daniel. Rena's lawyer sprang to her feet. Objection. These documents are fabricated, completely falsified. I held up a stack of papers. Forensic analysis, handwriting verification, timestamps, everything authentic. Your claims are baseless. Daniel stood suddenly. Your Honor, he said, his voice firm, I was never abandoned. I was hidden to protect me from people who wanted to control my life. My mother never left me behind. And I am reclaiming my life, starting with my home. The room fell silent. Even Rena gasped. Her face twisted with rage and fear. Then my eldest son spoke, his voice raw, trembling. I betrayed my brother. I signed away his rights, colluded with Rena's family, and hid the truth. I did it out of fear, not malice, but that does not excuse my actions. I am ready to face the consequences. The judge leaned forward, eyes intense. This is a serious admission. Are you certain you understand the gravity of this statement? I do, Your Honor, he said quietly. And I am prepared to make amends in any way necessary to protect Daniel and uphold the truth. Rena's mother screamed across the room. You can't do this. You're destroying us. I turned to them, voice cold and unwavering. You destroyed years of lives with your greed and lies. You manipulated, threatened, and stole. Your time is over. Just as the judge began reviewing the evidence, my eldest son's phone buzzed again. He read it quickly, face going pale. It's Rena's family, he whispered. They're moving Daniel. They've arranged for him to be taken now. Panic rose in my chest. Victor, what do we do? Victor's eyes narrowed. We can't wait. We move immediately. This is why I insisted on having everything prepped. The coordinates from the USB drive, now. Go. I looked at Daniel. We're going to get you, baby. Stay with me. He nodded, fear and trust colliding in his eyes. Outside the courthouse, the night air was cold and biting. Victor led us to a vehicle waiting in the shadows. The eldest son drove, his hands tight on the wheel, every muscle tense. Do you know where they're taking him? I asked. Yes, he said, voice low. The coordinates. The same safe house system my father used. We can intercept them, but we must move fast. The ride was tense. Daniel stayed silent, gripping my hand. I whispered, almost there, almost safe. When we reached the location, Victor signaled. Shadows moved, 2 men guarding the entrance. I recognized them from Daniel's letters. Coerced men, threatened men, but they hesitated when they saw us approaching. You're too late, one shouted. He's ours. I think not, Victor replied calmly. Step aside. The eldest son ran forward, grabbing the door and yanking it open. Chaos erupted, but we moved as a unit. I pushed through, grabbing Daniel. Mom, he cried. Relief, terror, and confusion all at once. I've got you, I said, holding him tight. Never leaving you again. Rena and her mother appeared, screaming and crying, but too late. We had Daniel in our arms. Victor held the documents high, waving them in the air. Enough, he said. All evidence is in favor of Nana, May, and Daniel. Any further attempt to interfere will be met with legal consequences. Rena's mother screamed, You'll regret this. I looked at her and whispered, almost softly, no. You're the ones who will regret everything you did. You gambled with a life and lost. Rena's face twisted, then she ran. Her mother followed, leaving us standing victorious, though bruised, battered, and exhausted. We returned home, Daniel finally safe in the house that had been stolen from us. I watched him explore every corner, eyes wide, touching furniture, walls, memories he had been denied. I can't believe this is real, he whispered. It's real, baby, I said. And it's yours, forever. My eldest son knelt beside him. I'm sorry, Daniel. I failed you, but I promise, I'll make it right. I'll protect you from now on. Daniel looked at him, hurt in his eyes. I don't know if I can trust you yet, but I'll try. For Mom. I smiled through tears. That's all I ask. Time will heal the rest. Just as the family began to breathe, Victor pulled me aside, face serious. There's more, he said. Rena's family won't give up. They've been humiliated, yes, but they have allies. We've won the battle, but the war is far from over. I nodded slowly. I understand. Let them come. We're ready now. Victor handed me another folder. I opened it. Photos, letters, threats, names. They've been planning for years, he said, and they'll return, stronger and more dangerous. I looked at Daniel, then at my eldest son. Whatever comes next, I said, we face it together. No lies, no betrayal, only the truth. And somewhere in the distance, I could hear a car door slam. A shadow watching, waiting. The war wasn't over. But for the first time in years, my family was whole. For now.